Hello and welcome to Roll For It. Sorry we're slightly late. There were some issues, especially with some reason Twitch wasn't ingesting for a moment. We thought it was streaming. But yeah, welcome to Roll For It, the show where we're going to be playing some RPG. We're going to be playing a tabletop RPG called Shadowrun today, which you may have seen us play last week. Shadowrun being an urban fantasy in the future kind of thing. Got some great backstory to it. But yeah, so we're going to be diving straight into that with our lovely characters today. We've got Pseudo Avak, we've got Kaber Stejo, Pug Shen, and Blowback Splatter. So that's going to be a load of fun. Now, just some quick headlines and stuff. We have been in touch with Twitch. They say they're interested in partnering us and so on, but we're still waiting to hear back. So any traffic you can get our way, so, you know, tweet, etc., whatever, really does help. So feel free to spread the word, etc., or, you know, just get your dog watching, whichever. But yeah, we'll be diving straight in since we did start a little bit late today. So our characters after last week ended with having successfully, I say successfully, managed to extract their target from a police transit van. Admittedly, he was bleeding out, had lost an arm because of police brutality, as far as everyone else is concerned.
Rodney King! Rodney King!
Yep. It was definitely not due to some technomancer gremlins causing guns to go off. Nope.
See the violence inherent in the system?
Yeah.
Why do they repress us so?
Pretty much. And they managed to then hand their contact over to the Johnson, and they got paid in full, despite the nature of the package being somewhat now bloodied. After that, they found out that there were a couple of images of Pug and Blowback now available because they'd been captured by the Lone Star cops and they didn't have their faces covered. Kaber does a picture as well, though it's very, very, very poor quality. Admittedly, the ones about Pug and Blowback are still pretty bad quality as well because they were taken in like fleeting camera of your gun goes past someone's face. And there were headlights and stuff, and it's not great, but there certainly is a little bit of information out there now on them, so they are in a little bit of, maybe not hot water, but certainly at least warm water. Okay, and right, so there are a couple of things you need to do in the intervening week in between that and your new run. So, for a start, I know one thing off the top of my head. Kaber has, for those of you who are wondering, insomnia. So what does that mean, Kaber?
It basically means that for me to recover from any sort of stun damage, I need to make a very special roll. So normally to recover from stun damage, you need to roll body plus willpower, and any hits recover that amount of stun damage. But for an insomniac, you normally need to roll a intuition willpower, and if you get 4 hits on it, then you can recover your stun damage as normal. But if you don't get 4 hits on it, then I've got 24 hours before I'm allowed to recover stun damage again. So it can build up over time if I get hit with a lot of stun damage.
Okay. So, basically you have, I think you're on the Friday night, you get a chance to rest, so roll for Friday.
Good luck, Pseudo.
Knock himself out before the round.
2 hits. You get a pretty restless night. The injury you have sustained from being shot at and actually hit by one just very long range unlucky shot to you still niggles. You sort of have these nightmares and you wake up in a cold sweat.
You could always like give Pug a call. It's like, can you come over here and punch me in the back of the head?
He knocked me out.
No, see, I'm just on the phone constantly calling him, telling him how much of a jerk he is. That's why he can't sleep.
I want to knock you out so much right now. Click.
Not only did you like paralyze Beatrice, you wrecked my garden gnome.
It is true. I forgot about the garden gnome.
Bloody destructive elf.
Yeah. So Saturday night you can try again.
Good luck, Kaber. Oh, so close.
Again, you wake up in cold sweat 3 times during the night. Can't really get sleep. Okay, that brings us to Sunday night.
Oh, so
Get
close.
there. Get there.
Do you have any edge spent like left from last session?
No, you used it all up.
I do, but I need to, like, I don't have any left from last session, and to get it back, I need to sleep. So
Yeah.
You get your edge back at the beginning of effectively when we begin this session. So since you don't have any left.
Well, with insomnia, I need to
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I need to sleep through it.
We're now on Monday, and that is when you're going to get your next job. So I'm afraid... How many points of stun damage do you have that just haven't healed?
Just 2.
Just 2. Okay, so it's not terrible.
So bad.
But unfortunately, you just haven't been able to sleep. Other than, you know, in and out, maybe half an hour here, half an hour there, whatever. No proper full REM. Unfortunately, mate, you're still smarting. That bruise is very deep and yellow, and you feel like maybe you've got some sort of very internal bruising, but you will be starting the session with 2 stun. Now,
I don't want to say it, but karma. Just putting it out there.
The punishment for paralyzing someone for life. 2 stun damage. Actually, a lot cheaper than we thought.
I know.
Yep. I'm just going to say one notable thing that the group did do after they found out their faces went everywhere last week. I believe you all went out and bought ballistic face masks, didn't you?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So now, don't worry, they are sporting, when they choose to wear them, ballistic face masks, which will hopefully hide the... That's pretty much exactly it, yeah. But yeah, okay, so we begin this session Monday, about 6 p.m. I believe, Kaber, when you called up the Johnson last time, you called from your main comm link, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So, about 7 p.m., you get a call, full just audio, no video coming through on this one, from a number you don't recognize.
Okay. I'll pick it up.
Oh, hello, Kaber. I believe you know a mutual acquaintance of ours. I believe you and your friends deserve some reward for your last help you offered us, and I would like to offer you a job.
Okay. I'm interested.
Well, if you can bring your friends, if you will like to meet us, I have an address in Southside. It pings over to your AR. This is just basically a GPS tag that shows the exact address and location. And if you will meet us there as soon as you are available, I think we have something that you will very much be pleased to see.
All right. I'll be there as soon as.
Okay. Cool cuts.
Right. I'm just going to forward on to Pseudo and Blowback, and let them know exactly what's going on, and once again tell them to let the troll know.
I forward to the troll. Indeed.
Okay.
All
I'm
right
going to ping a
then.
message over to Blowback saying, do we want to take the van, or do we want to just like grab some public transport and meet up in a central location?
I think we should probably bring the van along. Make a call on that one. Assuming it's like a location. Probably roll out there with a little bit of caution, but also prepared. And I'm not gonna come strapped. I don't know what you guys are coming with. I'll probably just keep a holdout with me. But I do think we should have the van nearby just in case. Because like a face-to-face. Like pinging a location on Google Maps and just being like, see you over there. It makes me a little nervous. Got a little dwarvish anxiety.
Yeah.
What is this location? Like a cursory Google Maps check? Sort
Sure.
of thing?
Effectively, you look it up on Ares Google Maps, and it quite quickly shows that this is effectively what used to be basically a few stories of reasonable quality apartments that maybe have gone a little bit more run down these days. Any information for any businesses or anything there just reveals that there is a laundrette.
Okay. Fair enough.
Have we gone to the trouble to repaint the van at all?
I think that would probably be a smart idea. Right now we've got it painted really, really like crazy garishly, and it's purely for comedic value. That's the only reason we keep it that way, is for Pink Mohawk laughs.
Pink Mohawk,
I'm
yeah.
thinking we may want to get the van taken care of and make it like matte white or like matte black or just something that blends in.
You can do that if you want.
I think it would be wise.
That'll require it to go into the shop though, so we may lose the van for like the run. Is that what we'd be, because I know a paint job will take a couple of days, bare minimum. What's the ruling on that, EE?
Right now, basically, you've got Johnson saying be here as soon as possible. You can get it repainted. You know Little Raj pretty well, who is your contact for that sort of stuff, I believe. Is it Little Raj, actually? No. Do you have a contact for vehicles?
Yeah, that's pretty much Lil Raj in general. He's kind
Okay.
of like a street race kind of. He owns a chop shop, and so
And
I
his-
assume you would have either.
He's loyalty 4. So yeah, he would be happy to repaint it for you. It would take like basically 2 hours. Basically, paint it, wait, paint it, wait, paint it, and let it dry. He can do it pretty quick. He likes you, but it will be out for a few hours. So it's up to you whether you want to take it to this. Currently, it does still say Misery Machine on green with like bright orange and like swirls and a big like flower.
Easter colors. All right, so I'm gonna ping everybody, and essentially in the message we're gonna take a team vote. Should I put the van in to get painted for 2 hours? You guys want to head over there right now?
Well,
can
given
get
that
painted.
I've been, in the days downtime since the job, as the technomancer of the group, I've been busying myself. But just obviously since their faces out there, I've been keeping an eye for identifying information. Would I have actually seen anything about the van?
Yeah, you would have seen some cursor reports. Basically, the information you would have gleaned since you've had several days to just try and watch as many reports about what happened as possible. You would have seen reports saying that there was a Lone Star officer who was seriously injured and is in hospital, having lost an eye. There's actually accompanying that, there's footage and interview, etc., saying, I'm soldiering on blah, 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 Lone Star, happy to protect and serve. And then they talk to him, and they also have his wife and his 2 children next to him. And they're obviously playing the sympathy angle on that one. And they talk about how, he was a rising star in the Force, etc., how this is going to take out, how his wife feels about this, how they're going to, move on, etc., and be able to persevere. There's also a discussion about how these criminals took out an old elderly couple nearby to be able to use their home as a fire point, and how that Beatrice and her husband were brutally attacked, and that she is actually suffering from a degenerative neural disease, which is why, as an elf, she looks slightly older. Elves generally don't look more than like 30 in general. And that she's actually suffered a fracture to the C2 and C3 vertebrae, and that means it's possible she will never walk again, although they are trialing some surgery with their dock wagon contract, although they don't have enough money for it, so they're going to have to sell the house, etc. So any information you do have on these, and then the pictures come along, these
I've been
criminals.
forwarding all of the ones about Beatrice to Kaber, by the way, along with some choice words.
Do you forward the house price listing?
I've been forwarding everything
Okay.
about Beatrice and
Little
how
PNGs of Jiminy
Yeah.
Cricket.
yeah.
Well, the house is available for 160,000 Noyan.
That's pretty good.
If you're interested. The images themselves, again, they're pretty blurry. The one of Caber is very, very blurry. It's very far away. It was from the smart gun link on the guy's pistol. It was dark. It was terrible. The pictures of Pug and Blowback, still similarly, they were from smart gun weapons being like flailed around and pointed very quickly with gunfire going off. Not great quality, but there's some resemblance there. You know them, so you definitely like that's them. Maybe someone who saw you in the street would have a harder time, but it's possible. Actually, on this note, Suda, you said that in the intervening time you want to do something with that footage you had.
Given how much time has gone past.
Oh, you've had 3 days, so.
Yeah, I was going to be trying to disseminate that footage after obviously having cleaned it to remove as much of the obvious blowback and Pug visuals in there. I feel they're famous enough. I don't want them overshadowing me, So I've cruelly doctored them out of their best work yet. But I have been disseminating that footage amongst the Shadowrunner community and a few data havens that Pseudo would frequent. Just putting it out there just to try and get the message out to the masses. That the man is not helping them. The man is just keeping them down. Cruelly gunning down people in the streets. What a scallywag.
Okay, so for cleaning the footage, roll me just a data processing, I guess. Make that a normal data processing test. Or would it be... Actually, no, there is a thing for this. It'd be edit file, wouldn't it?
Mm.
Edit file. Computer plus logic, limited by your data processing, yeah.
I'd probably have one of my sprites do that, since they're a lot better at it than me.
Sure. That will use a service, I guess, but yeah, go for it.
Let me pop this up. I hadn't prepared for this one, so you'll have to bear with me just a moment.
So have we decided on flat black or flat white? Or are we doing like a muffin machine or maybe something else?
I think we should.
Good
I
question there.
think we should paint it black
Burnt muffin.
with white racing stripes. It can be the badger.
You take it, and we could each have our own segment of the van, and it'll be like color changing, and then we could all just pick a color at the beginning of the day, so we can all just disagree in yet another way. And, well, it looks like the car is black, red, green, and purple today.
Yep, you can get Ruthenian
perfect divided
polymer
lines.
coating, which can be color changing. I think you can get it at a second grade, which allows it to basically be a chameleon coat. I think there's 2 grades for it. I'd have to double check. But yeah, you can get effectively an invisible van that can change color.
Damn, we make it invisible?
Yeah,
That's
if you
what's
get the
up.
really good quality stuff. I mean, the wheels
Oh, we gotta make it
and the
invisible.
windows don't change, but everything else does.
So it's just like heads floating past on the road on top of wheels like 4 feet above.
I mean, if they're behind you because there's no windows behind in your van, like it's fine. Like that would be fine. Like if you're in the front of you, they see this windscreen, and like that's it. They're just like, what?
Rendering error.
Yep.
Right,
graphics cards die.
so we have got data processing and computer. So for this one, it would be roll. And there we go. I always forget to put the 5 when I do that.
That was 3, 4, 5, 5 hits. So yeah,
The
that
data
was
processing limit is 7.
7. Okay, so you get 5 hits. You think you've cleaned it pretty well.
I hope
and
so. Bloody sprite.
Now to
He'll have a
distribute it,
sound talking to after this.
how do you want to distribute it?
Like I said, disseminating it through data havens, just and the Shadowrunner community as a whole, not
have any-
through any sort of legitimate networks.
Okay, do you have
I've
any
got
specific
a
contacts?
contact- Yes, I've got an information broker.
Yeah, she'd be interested in that. In fact, someone was asking for that footage shortly after the run, actually, late Saturday night. So yeah, she would be interested, and she would buy it off you for 200 Noyan.
Ooh, fantastic. Unexpected Noyan is best Noyan.
She's not
You
gonna
just work
snitch
more
on us, is
often.
she? Yeah. These snuff films, they go quick.
How much was that again, sorry?
200.
200. Perfect. You need any more data from me?
Yeah, I'll need you to make an intuition plus... Call it an intuition plus data processing test to be able to distribute it where you think it will get the max amount of traction without any blowback. So effectively intuition for your knowledge about where these sort of things best percolate from. And then data processing to just get as many out as possible.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, no, it'd be intuition plus computer limited by data processing. Yeah.
Intuition plus computer, limited by data processing, which is 5. My computer. Let me just.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of a matrix
skills.
search, effectively.
Okay.
Chat saying your voice needs to go up. I'll just do that. Don't worry, chat. I'm paying attention. If you say some of the voices are a little bit low, I can turn them up.
I had 2 successes. Not very good, but there we are.
2 successes. Okay, there's a little bit of traction. There's, you know, some minor posts on some forums and bulletin boards and so on saying, you know, it's, you know, more Lone Star brutality, etc. Because the footage you have, Blowback was on the other side of the van. Didn't see it as far as I'm aware. Pug was down. Steejo does have a copy. Steejo, does your sniper rifle have a smart link?
Who? Sorry.
Sorry,
What's my
Kava.
name? That's the one.
Kava, do you have a smart link on your sniper rifle?
No.
In which case, it would be from your vision. Your vision doesn't have any enhancements or whatever. as far as I'm aware. So you get this...
Nope, just my natural elvish.
It's kind of a bit fuzzy, it's very dark, but you do see generally this sort of figure pull out a shotgun and generally point it in vaguely the direction of the captive that they were moving, and then, you know, goes off, and there's this like
probably
spatter
worked to
of
our
blood.
advantage, honestly, that it wasn't that detailed.
It
in
probably
this
does
case.
work to your
Well done.
advantage.
Well done, Kaver, for being such a low-tech sniper.
The detail in it is pretty terrible, but you can see vaguely the person who did the shooting was the person who pulled the shotgun out. You can't see his facial expression. You can't see that he's surprised by his own shotgun going off. You can't see any of that, so plays to your advantage. And that does get a bit of traction, especially because, you know, people are annoyed about Lone Star brutality, especially the recent privatization of the police in London. So, yeah, you managed to get some traction on that. Well done.
Yay.
So, you were saying about the van. You were going to send it to the chop shop?
Yeah, let's send it on over to the chop shop. And for right now, what are my options for the paint jobs?
You can either have it just painted a matte color. That's a fairly cheap job. Little Raj likes you. Like, it'll be a couple of $100 Noyan max. If you want the Ruthenian polymer, I will have to go look it up, but it will also take a lot of time for Little Raj to procure that, because that stuff is, I believe, forbidden. The reason it's forbidden, it used to be restricted. The reason it's forbidden is a runner team out of Germany tried to kidnap a child from some family. They managed to grab the child. They put them into a Ruthenian polymer bag so that they could, you know, escape without it being obvious that they were kidnapping a child. They got gunned down by bodyguards out in the street. And then the police and the ambulances approaching the scene accidentally ran over the child. So Ruthenian polymer is now kind of heavily forbidden by some people because of the knock-on effect of that.
Accidentally, right.
I mean, maybe,
Star,
you know.
accidentally.
Well, to be
Conspiracy
fair,
theories.
I imagine the police guys are like, did we just run over something? I saw nothing on the road. There was a weird
bop,
bump.
bop,
They
bop.
got out, and just the road seems to just be bleeding from nothing. It's like,
Her father
Better
voted the
back
wrong way
over
on the
it and
corporate
see if it does
council.
it again.
Yeah, there is footage of that on the Matrix at certain parts, and I'm sure that Pseudo will have been able to find that if he cares. But yeah, okay, so yeah, Little Raj says
just,
that, you know, he'll get your price back on the Ruthenian polymer if you want it, or if you want just a spray job, he'll do it for you. And
Let's just primer it for right now. I'll get the better paint job done later when we got some downtime.
okay, so basically he just, you know, paints over it, rips off the vinyl decals and stuff, and for like, since it's just a primer job and it's just gonna be a plain white, and he assumes you will come back for Ruthenian polymer later, he says, you know, I'll let you have this one slightly cheap, and you know, I expect you to come back for the Ruthenian polymer. So yeah, call it 159.
Cool.
He likes you, so he expects repeat service.
We were sellies. We did
Yeah.
have to ignore each other like masturbating in a cell. It was just like, all right, you turn and go to your corner right now. It's my turn. It was rough.
that is probably more information than I ever wanted.
I'm just saying, it's prison. Shit gets real in there. This is not a clean world to live in.
Pseudo does not want to go to prison.
Pseudo would not last in prison, no. Pseudo is a very, very gentle wallflower.
Yeah, so how are you going to make it to this meet, or are you going to wait for the van to be primed, because it's going to take about 2 hours?
I'm gonna wait for it to be primed so that we don't like run around and get seen by surveillance. If they've got like some random surveillance of the van, I thought they didn't know anything about it. If they know something about it, though, we really need to get that handled first.
Yeah, unfortunately, because you were speeding up the intersection quickly afterwards, some traffic cameras caught you.
Blowback would get a little doop on his comlink. I'd be sending him a message saying, before you sync the new yen needed for I forget what ruthenium polymer, have a think about electronic paper. Bit cheaper, bit less likely to get the wrong sorts of people taking notice when you buy that much.
I will Google that later. I will Aries that later, I guess is what I should say.
Yes.
Okay, so what's your plan?
Okay.
We wait for the primer to get done, and then I think we're all in agreement that we head on over to the meet after that, right?
Okay, about 2 hours later, you basically wait around, I assume, for 2 hours since Little Raj, you just took it to the shop.
Yep.
Little Raj hops down from his little step ladder because he's unfortunately a dwarf, and this is a full-size van.
Unfortunate. Unfortunate. What are you trying to say?
Racist!
I can hear the racism right there, yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Worse than the troll.
So he
Hey,
hops
now.
down and he goes, it's ready for you. And that'll be 159.
All right, pay it on over. Just wire it real fast.
All right, yep, it's good to go. You might be a little bit tacky. Just try and not leave fingerprints on it at the moment.
Cool. Good looking out, man. I'll come back for the other job.
All right, I'll put some feelers out.
All right.
You take the van.
And so I get the van back, and I'm gonna go around, and if we can find a central location to pick everybody up, that's cool. Or I could just make the rounds and we can pick people up. Anybody you guys want to meet at like a location where I could pick you up at the same time, or you just want me to go like full all the way around London all day? We can turn this into like a difficult chauffeur thing or an easy chauffeur thing.
We could just meet at the Camden Cross again.
Cool.
Yeah, I send a message to them all saying that's fine by me, and it's not actually that far away from me at all. It's literally just picking me up from a few yards away from my front door instead of at my front door.
I'll
be able to
assume-
find my front door anyway.
I'll assume that being smart enough to wear a balaclava or something would be bright, considering our faces are all over the place right now.
So do you want to walk around Camden wearing a balaclava?
Maybe not like that, no, but I don't think I want to wear a mask either.
It's up to you.
I send. Are you expressing this to the group? Because
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. Yeah. Well, I'll definitely send a message saying, "Get a hoodie like everyone else in Camden.
Hoodie makes sense.
It's probably going to be raining."
Just roll up the balaclava like a hat. It's fine. You
I've
don't need to
got
wear
one
a
right
full
now.
face.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's like a hat, and then you can just pull it down.
Pug goes into his wardrobe. He pulls out this like big, heavy hoodie. Probably this kind of hoodie that you wear for these days when you just want the hoodie to give you a hug. As a troll, he probably wouldn't admit that because grr. But he finds this big woolen
That is
hoodie,
also racist. Bloody hell.
What, trolls can't love hugs?
pulls it
Oh,
down.
my
It's got special
goodness.
little holes in the top for his horns, so it fits over. Casts a sort of a deep shadow. But yeah, it's a genuine, not entirely synthetic fibered hoodie. It's quite nice. It says Ares Arms on it, by the way. It's got the big Ares logo. You're a bit of a fan.
Okay. Right, so we all wait for Blowback to come and pick us up. Then I assume.
Yes, indeed. I'm on my way.
Okay. While you're on your way, I'm just pushing information to your comm link. Just kind of marked for view later. Just basically little emails, which are literally just listing electronic paper, where you can buy it, the various retailers around London, because it's not restricted in any way. It's very cheap, and you could literally cover your entire van with it. And then Pseudo could draw on your van. It'd be great.
And as Blowback drives around London after you send him all these messages, he starts getting targeted ads from every shop he goes past that sells electronic paper going, "Oh, we've got enough on electronic paper. Get 200 sheets for the cost of 150. Now going special price, colored electronic paper, now available in..." And it just repeatedly every time, because this is a place where you've got quite a few of these kind of news agency type places, and quite a few of them will stock electronic paper. Some of them going on about the new resolutions and the fact that they can do semi-holographic 3D
I may have unintentionally just signed. Oops. He may be getting targeted by spam by printing agencies for a while. Sorry in advance. Unintentional this time.
Okay, so obviously the algorithm saw that you were very much interested for some reason in electronic paper in a very short period of time, and it went, now is our time to strike. But yeah, kind of in your overlays, I mean, going down central London, that place is very busy with AR overlays, so you're getting a lot of this stuff up as you're driving, and to be fair, you can just enable driving mode for safety, which will kind of reduce it a little bit, but still some of the more obtrusive ones get in every now and again. Are you, by the way, driving manually, or are you letting grid guide do its work? Because around central London, you do have the ability to go grid guide.
I'll probably keep it manual.
Okay.
I like hands-on wheel. I like driving.
Okay. So you get to the centre of London. They're all sort of waiting there, ready to be picked up. Pug wearing a big hoodie. Note that this is, a 340 kilo troll wearing this big hoodie. It's almost like a tent for someone of your size, really.
Go Aries!
I could live inside of it.
You probably could. You will bundle inside the van. Camden this time is pretty busy. There's a lot of people going around. You get a couple of people honky on horns behind you as you slow down temporarily in quite a busy thoroughfare of London. Although, to be fair, it's not like you could be going much faster considering the traffic at this time of day. You also do know that this is a lot of people going around, and there's also a lot of advertising, billboards, AR overlays, and security cameras just sweeping the area. Being a very central place in London. But you continue on, you manage to go down into Southside, and you head towards the meet. Anything else you want to do before you get there?
Before I go into the meet, I'm just gonna stow away. I got my coat on, so I'm gonna stow away my L36, I think. My light pistol inside of it, just concealed in its concealed holster. That's all I'm gonna bring with me in there.
I got my wonderful light fire with me. Don't tell anyone.
Okay. I will rule, for the purposes of a giant hoodie on a troll with a small pistol, that I'll give you a +1 concealability modifier for that. I mean, your lifestyle costs do factor in clothing, and a gigantic hoodie does seem pretty much a fair cop for that one. Pseudo, what are you going to be taking with you?
Myself, my lined coat, just basically a large duster, my just general, I'm just walking around London kind of clothes, a hat, just a baseball cap sort of hat, just, pulled low down, and just, not really standing out, but also kind of standing out in the sort of, he looks like everyone else. He doesn't look
the guy from Watch
conspicuously plain sort of thing. If that makes sense.
Make me an etiquette roll, which would be your ability to blend in and so on. Just in case.
Yeah, sure. Can I default on that?
Since it is just general London crowds, I say yeah, you can default quite easily. It's fine. You don't need to get a -1 or anything. You can just roll charisma.
Okay.
Actually, would the etiquette be intuition?
I'm afraid I don't know, as I don't have it on my normal skills. I haven't made a cheat sheet for it.
Unfortunately, I would
etiquette is charisma.
Yeah, charisma then.
It is
okay.
charisma. Okay.
Yeah.
Oop.
Wow.
Oh, critical glitch.
Yeah.
Okay, so Splat, can you make me a perception test?
Yep. Go ahead and drag that on up. One, let's get to
This is gonna get interesting.
tuition.
Two successes. Okay. Let me roll mine. You're fine.
I don't like the way that you said that. That makes me feel nervous.
It's okay.
Well, he didn't
No,
say
you're
roll for
perfectly
initiative.
fine. Don't worry about it. You're good. You're fine.
Didn't say roll for initiative.
You pick them up. You have a bit of a look around. You notice Suda coming towards you. He does look a little bit shifty today. Maybe he's a little bit worried about the amount of the AR or whatever. You're not too certain, but he actually does seem to be, for some reason, drawing your attention. You're not sure why until you realize that he's actually got odd socks on, and his shoes are actually odd as well. And that his trousers are quite a bright sort of blue jeans, along with a quite red jacket, and it's this kind of weird color coordination. You're
I
not
like
sure
how they
why.
can see my red jacket underneath my lined coat.
Oh yeah, you've got the line coat on top, which is maybe muting that a little bit. But it maybe does look a little bit shifty. But you don't see anything to worry about. So, Pseudo gets in the van, everyone else gets in the van, you bundle off, you have a look around. Just
Well,
in case
I've got a
someone
low
pops up.
lifestyle, I can't afford to have matching shoes.
Yeah.
Like you bloody people living in the lap of luxury with
This is what you
same
call
types of
blending
shoes.
in.
In the hood, we wear our left shoe on our right foot because we choose to do it that way.
But yeah, when you sort of you pull out back into the traffic and you look around, you don't see anyone seems to pay attention, so you move on.
Oh my lord.
Alright, so
Pseudo failed his clothing check. Yay me. At least he wasn't wearing his pants on the outside of his trousers.
Just need a
I'm a
big
superhero.
Small
sack.
mercies.
Yeah.
Small mercies.
Okay, so you head down. Kabo, what are you taking with you in terms of like weaponry or anything?
I'm wearing my suit and taking my holdout as usual.
Okay.
That's
Right.
it.
You pull up. Do you want to pull up in front or just a little bit away?
I guess we'll pull up pretty close to the spot so that we can use the van as cover or something like that if we need to.
Okay. So you pull up fairly nearby. You notice that as you get there, you see this building seems to be a little bit on the deserted side. There is, a sign saying laundrette, clothes cleaned promptly, and there's a sign that's actually like a physical sign that's turned around and says closed. It doesn't seem to be really anyone obviously visible from this range, although the laundrette has got a load of boxes and stuff and some sort of like washing machine stacked up inside and kind of blocks view particularly far into it. In this place you see kids running around. It's a little bit dilapidated. It's not the greatest of places. I mean, Southside is generally just one step up from the Lambeth Containment Zone in terms of the niceness of the area. It begins to rain a little bit, just a little bit of rain, and your overlays for everyone but Pug, because Pug doesn't have an AR overlay, says, rain today is forecast to be pH 3.2, try to keep your skin covered, etc., blah, blah, blah. Acid rain is, dangerous. And it goes on and on and on about the dangers of acid rain if you click more. But other than that, this place just seems to be a bit of a meh place. Doesn't seem to be anyone
Can I make
around.
a perception?
Sure.
Okay, I'll make a perception check. See what happens here. Hopefully I don't fall on my head. Yeah.
You have at least succeeded in not falling on your head.
You have opened your eyes.
Well done.
Went to look for something, did not put out eye. Success.
You don't spot anyone.
I'm gonna roll perception as well.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna whisper, can you hit your boy up or can you hit the guy up? You got his number?
Can I see any devices within 100 meters? Any icons nearby?
Yeah, you can see a fair few. Particularly looking in the direction of the laundromat, you can see that there are a number of the dryers and the washing machines, etc., do have some icons on board. A few of them seem like their icons have just disappeared, like they're off or they're damaged or whatever, but there are a few of them that are still active. You also notice then that there are quite a few icons in there of comlinks and several weapons attached to them. They're probably numbering about 16 comlinks and probably more weapons, actually. You're probably looking at something like 27 weapons.
I can see a lot of comlinks and an armory's worth of weapons inside that shop.
Right, I'm going to cast for detect enemies.
Sure. Cast it. So that was at force level 1? Or
Force level
3?
4.
Force
but-
4.
Yeah.
What magic are you?
What magic am I? 3?
Okay, so that'd be physical drain. 1 success. So what do I roll to resist? We had this discussion last time. I can't remember what it was.
Oh.
It might be just willpower plus counterspelling.
Pseudo, can you tell if any of the weapons are activated or anything like that when you do those checks? Or is that just like purely for weapons tags in the area?
Well,
like
I can see that
RFIDs?
they're wireless, so they're active insofar that they're turned on and they're connected to the matrix.
Kaba, you sort of stop in the van for a moment. You focus your magical essence through yourself and outwards, and you start like just doing a cursory glance at everyone's mind to see if they are A, aware of you, and B, if they have hostile intentions in that regard. You don't notice anyone who has it in for you.
Just the troll.
The troll, again, there's that slight sort of resignation. It's not like he definitely intends to harm you right now, but he certainly has aggressive feelings towards you. But other than that, again.
I'm just going to roll.
This time, though, you do
resist.
get maybe a slight sense of that Pseudo's a little bit pissed with you. You're not sure.
That was just to resist the drain.
You cast it force 4, so how much drain is it? It's not much, is it?
2.
2, yeah. You resisted it.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah. So you resist the drain from your spell. You open your eyes. No enemies that you can detect.
All right, gentlemen, what do we want to do now? I got a bad
Well,
feeling about this.
I'm going to ping the
You say
contact.
that every time.
I don't like getting shot. I have a strong allergy to it.
You're like the Matrix.
But you know what happens when I do get hit? I explode just like a water balloon. So I have to get out of the way.
And to be fair, Pug, there are enough guns in there that they'd be able to make you explode like a water balloon. So I'm with Blowback on this.
How about you call your guy up on the phone and see if he'll come out here maybe, and then we'll just keep an eye on the gun signals or something? I don't want to be overly paranoid about this. But I don't know, when people bring up rewards before we've even talked to them, I start getting nervous.
While
Yeah.
all that's happening, can I see any security surveillance equipment around? Just general cameras, just icons for that?
Icons for them. None that are not running hidden. There can, of course, be ones running hidden that you might not be able to see. You'd have to make a matrix exception for that.
Yeah. Just as a general kind of lore thing that my character would know, but I don't necessarily know. Obviously, Britain has a lot of traffic cameras. There's cameras everywhere. Would it still be the same in the far from
yes
future?
and no. There are a lot of cameras in places where people won't vandalize them, but in places like Southside and Lamp Containment Zone, people generally see them as target practice. So they've kind of stopped, to an extent, putting a lot of cameras up. They sometimes put up hidden ones that are more temporary in nature near intersections and stuff, but also generally, eventually when they get spotted, they get used as target practice.
That's it. Since the icons are there, can I just interrogate the icons for details on the types of weapons that are there?
Sure. Make a matrix perception for each hit. You can ask me a question about the icons.
Matrix perception. Let me bring up my wee cheat sheet. That would be matrix perception is computer plus data processing.
Are we gonna do this meet or what?
Yeah, they said they wanted it done fast.
Well, we've already spent 2 hours waiting on the van. I'm sure an
Yeah.
extra 5-10 minutes isn't going to be much of an issue.
Might as well do this the right way. There's a lot of guns in there.
Yeah.
5 successes.
Okay, you can ask me 5 things. What would you like to ask?
Okay, I would like to know if there are any weapons more military spec weapons.
Sure. You investigate the strength of the icons and the threat level, and one of them does resonate as I think it's an AS technology single shot rocket launcher.
Okay, are there? What's the well? Okay, I'll be a bit more specific rather than trying to game away around the questions. Are there any rifles, like assault rifles, things bigger than pistols in there amongst the weapons?
Sure. I think you have to target them at each individual device. But you can use a couple of actions and you detect that there is a variety of different weapons in there, but there are a few assault rifles as well. There are a few assault rifles, there are a few shotguns, there are quite a lot of pistols.
Okay. It's a little bit hard for me to target the icons, considering I can see dozens of icons, but I've got no icons usually look like something.
I mean, these icons, someone has masked a lot of them, and with your number of hits, you can just eventually get to that. So I'm just going to tell you, because you've got lots of time, you can just go into VR and do this forever. They have been masked, a lot of them. Some of them haven't. There are a lot of pistols that still look like pistols, but there's certainly a few that are assault rifles that have been hidden as portable music players, or there's one that's actually labeled as fish. It's not a fish. It's an assault rifle. It's actually a compact assault rifle that's been cut down. This one, but no. Someone's done some work on masking these. Not an expert job, to your Technomancer eye.
Okay. And since I could just keep rolling Matrix Perception and finding this stuff out, I'll just ask one last general question.
Yeah.
Given that generally they would have icons to try and indicate how many sort of mods and stuff like that, are there any things that would catch my eye that is some serious kit that's got a smart link system?
A few of them do smart links, particularly the more powerful guns in the group. You also notice that there are a couple of warhawks that have smart links on them. And you also notice that there are a pair of very high-grade cyber arms.
Okay. They're not just gangers in there. There's someone's chromed up. We've got some heavier weapons. There's a rocket launcher in there. This is not just small arms. There's a lot of small arms there.
Did you say rocket launcher?
Yes.
So the question becomes, what did the guy sound like that contacted you, Caber?
A crazy fucking Russian. Like, it's definitely one of the Russian mob. I mean, we just done a job for the Russian mob.
Red 4.
Did we though? Because the guy we contacted last time was an orc and he wasn't Russian.
He was a troll.
No,
He was a troll?
he says
Was he a Russian troll?
The last Mr. Johnson says that it was for, like, that's why we were getting the guy.
Make
Because it was for the
a
Russian mob.
charisma plus... what's to read someone? It's on here.
Judge intentions?
Yeah, but it's not exactly judge intentions.
My concern here is that we ran against the mob
Yeah.
while he said we were running for the mob. And now
Charisma
these
plus-
guys are kind of pissed about it.
Charisma plus intuition.
The White Vori were involved. The guy that we
Supposedly.
rescued.
Vladimir Coleslaw or something.
Yeah, Koslov, I think it was.
Kaber, the troll seemed very corporate and pretty well spoken with a sort of generic British accent. Maybe a little bit more southern, particularly, sort of a more cut glass British accent. However, it's possible, since that is a very just generic accent, there was just, specifically targeted just general cut glass English, that it's possible someone was putting that on, but other than that, you wouldn't be able to notice.
Alright, guys.
Cable get a message on his comlink asking how many people are going to contact you on that comlink.
How many people are going to know to contact me on the comlink? Like, no one. Like, the only person that I've contacted is, like my personal friends and the Mr. Johnson. Like, that was it.
Alright, so decision time. Do we bug out or do we go in? How's everybody feeling about it?
I say we go in. Like,
Okay.
if you guys don't want to go, like, the pug can come with me. I mean, he's a big scary guy.
At which
Oh,
point
I'll
you
go
hear
with you, Caber.
on the side of the van.
Shit. On which side? Whose side is it?
It's on the pavement side, so that it's basically on the door.
Okay.
Come on, face.
Oh, come on!
Go face
Alright,
down that rocket launcher.
I'll go to...
What icons are just outside right now that I can see?
There are 2 comlinks, there are also 2 pistols, and there is a shotgun.
Okay.
Along with general other stuff, like there are some shoes there that are reporting that they're half through their wear cycle. There's a belt saying that the person needs to lose a bit of weight because it's on a higher setting than it used to be on, and a few other things like that. There's also something that's reporting that their meal is digesting properly and that the sausages are, yeah. There's a lot of crap out there as well.
2 unknowns, pistols, a shotgun.
Future's rough. When your belt calls you fat. It's brutal.
All right, I'm
just
gonna pull out my pistol and wait for Caber to open the door.
Right, I'm going to slide open the door.
Okay, you slide open the door and you see 2 humans, both wearing suits. Not the best pinstripe suits. Puggy, you pointing a gun at them?
Not yet.
Okay. They aren't carrying their pistols in their hands or anything. If you're worrying, they've got their hands at their sides, and one of them turns to you and just says, "Dad, I was
You?
expecting Kaber," because he opened the door. I was expecting a different colored van, but are you Kaber?
That's right, yep.
Dad, we've been asked to get you inside. You are a little bit late.
Alright, do you mind if my my friend comes with me?
Dad, well, we were expecting 3 others.
Alright, Well, there's only 2 with me just now. The other one's back at home.
Oh, well, let me just... And he just goes silent for a certain moment, and you can see that he's sub-vocalizing. And then he speaks up about 10 seconds, 20 seconds later and says, that is fine. Try and get the person here as soon as possible. We do have job offer that would be good to see all of you and be able to gauge your intentions and your reliability. We like to know who we are doing business with, but we've said more than we should. Get inside, please, and we can start on.
All right,
Okay.
so I guess we're going to a meet.
Yep.
I
I'm
just
just gonna.
silently salute my comrades as I lie down in the back of the van, just cross my hands over my chest and just...
I got a look
Well,
on my
let's
face that says, "Here we go again," but I get out of the car and I'm gonna follow him in.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
follow him in. I'm going to keep my hands inside the little pocket on my hoodie.
So the
So
one
I
that
got my
spoke
gun
to
in my
you moves, a few meters back and lets you exit the van. The other one holding the door open for you, nice and politely. When you
Well, thanks.
exit the van, he sticks his head in and sees Pseudo laying in the back of the van.
Eyes closed, appearing asleep.
This is one of yours.
Yeah, he's just knocked out just now.
Power nap.
Oh, okay. And he gets into the van. What is
Watch
wrong
your
with
butt.
him? He goes over and he taps Pseudo on the cheek. Pseudo, what the hell is don't flinch when tapped on the cheek test?
I would imagine that would be performance if there's such a
Yeah.
skill. I
Yeah.
don't have
Performance.
it, but
Make it willpower plus performance, because it'd be the willpower to just not react as well.
okay.
You will default on that, so it'd be -1 performance.
Yeah. So just will. Oh, the things you get me into, Kaber.
It'd be best if I just left you.
Right.
He's going to use group edge.
What's group edge?
Enemies who aren't important enough to have edge have a group edge that's shared between all enemies in
Right,
the pool.
okay.
This also applies to friendly troops and so on as well. So yeah, he for a moment sort of buys it and then sees you sort of half wink as your eyelids flutter. He goes, "No, he's awake now. Get up, little man."
Hearing that, did I sit up, bolt upright, and just go, and who the hell are you?
I am sure. A big surprise. Come on, we have job to do. He waves you out of the van. Also, he then looks around. You said you had all your kit in here, right? Like you all said, we've got all of our main guns.
No,
Yeah.
I said I've not brought anything except the things I said I had.
Yeah.
Oh, no, my kit's still in there from the last job.
Yeah. Everyone else said that they got all their main weapons and they kept them in the van for these sort of things, right?
For just a meet like this?
Well, you generally said that you keep your main kit in the vans, unless there's something you deliberately would have left at home.
Now they know we're well prepared. It's okay, guys.
So basically,
right.
it's the assault
You're
cannon
right.
If that's part of our main kit, then yes.
there. Okay.
see, yeah.
He looks around. He sees a lot of assault rifles. He also sees an assault cannon on the wall. Now, bear in mind, an assault cannon fires like 20, like an inch large shell, basically like a small tank cannon, effectively, that's portable. More popular with trolls because no one else can really carry it very easily. He looks slightly shocked and impressed. He looks down at Pseudo, who was the guy there, and goes, "Are these yours?"
I'm simply going to look at him, and I'm just going to stare at him for a moment, as if to give him time to process what he's asking. Shall we
Troll.
leave?
He has good
Yes.
taste. I've always wanted one of these. And he motions you out the van.
Yeah, I get out of the van.
Can we close
There
the
was
freaking door behind this
absolutely
guy?
no point in me trying to bluff that. It's like, that thing is bigger than me. Do you think it's mine?
They don't have very good logic. He closes the door. And the front guy motions you to go inside.
Okay.
He goes, "What is this? What 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 is this
I wirelessly locked the van up and everything, just in case it needed to be stated.
Okay.
Probably a good idea, yeah.
So he maneuvers you around some. Yeah.
Can I do a judge intentions to see like if that guy's interested in our van?
Sure, go for it.
We are really paranoid.
He is interested
of
in the
course.
kit inside the van. He doesn't
This
look
is
like
Shadowrun.
he doesn't look like he's going to steal it anytime soon, but he is certainly interested and impressed.
Okay.
Actually, more impressed than he's trying to let on right now. But yeah, no, they are like, you have an assault cannon in your van. Like, that's kind of what's going through their heads right now. And they're obviously giving the troll a little bit more of a wide berth as you would. You normally give a troll a little bit of a wide berth because, they're pretty tough. This is a troll who just has an assault cannon in a van. But yeah. So,
Kaber gets a message just pushed to his comment from Pseudo saying, from me, rather saying, in before, David was actually in charge of some massive criminal organization, and you've now got a hit on all of us. Well done.
That's Beatrice.
Nah, there's no way that guy was in charge of a criminal organization. He was going to phone Lone Star. Like, he ain't fooling me. Sido.
Just calling it now. Calling it now. We're all going to be skinned alive, and
by the way,
our
Kaber,
organs
to
are gonna
say
be
that
sold.
back, you have to.
You're going to have to take it.
We're gonna have to type it, yeah.
So, like, you've got your hands at your side, furiously trying to type while not looking too conspicuous, and the guards gives you a little bit of a look, but
Just keep my APM up, guys. Just keep my APM up.
Deception!
I won't make him roll a deception because he can just buy the hits and he'd be fine. Kaber is insane. But yeah, they walk you past like some of the piled up laundry machines, some boxes scattered there, and they go, wait. One of them stops for a second and pulls out his comm link, presses a button, and the laundrette, like the dryers and the washing machines nearby, start spinning up. Pseudo, you'll notice that this makes 2 points of jammer. Basically noise, because large turbine electric motors causing electromagnetic interference, maybe deliberately unshielded for this purpose. And then they go, mind if we do pat down?
Pseudo holds out his arms.
Okay, let's go through
I
everyone
do
then.
similarly.
Whoop, whoop.
Yay!
Okay, so Pseudo, you have, is it a light pistol?
No, I told you, I'm bringing nothing but me.
Oh, nothing, okay.
Yeah, I literally said I've not brought
Sorry,
any weapons.
they pat you down? Nothing there, fine. Kaber, you've got your holdout in your suit, which has a concealed holster, right?
Yes.
-6 to notice that.
Yep.
That, please. He holds out his hand.
This thing's just not worth me taking around with me. Here you go.
To be fair, he got really lucky on that
Yeah.
roll.
One
Yeah,
dice and he got a success.
Yeah, it's basically a -2 for the concealed holster, -4 for hold.
-4 for the holdout, yeah. Yep.
Well, -4 for holdout, yeah, so he had 1 dice. Unlucky. Pug, you are carrying, is it a light pistol?
Light pistol, concealed holster, yeah.
Light pistol, concealed holster, that's a -4. -1 because I said the hoodie's a -1, so it's -5. Does it have the silencer on it, by the way? Because general silencers make the gun a lot bigger. If you store it with the silencer attached, it will give them an extra dice, effectively.
Yes, it does.
In which case, 3 dice. ... Maybe they're still kind of impressed and a little bit wary of going full hands-on with the troll.
Yeah, because he might have another assault cannon in under there.
Yeah. Is that assault gun? You're pleased to see me. He waves you past. Blowback.
I've got my coat, which is a -2, and then I've got the concealable holster, which I think is another -2, so it should be a -4 altogether, I think.
And what gun are you wielding?
Colt L36. It's a light pistol.
Light pistol. So -2, -2, -2. That's -6. You were fine.
Literally the only person who got caught was Kaber. The weakest of all the guns there, And the only
Hashtag
one
blame
who got
Gaber.
caught. Yep.
Yeah, but he can talk himself out of a jam. It's fine.
I'm too pretty
He's
to
too
hit.
pretty to shoot. He's too pretty. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, by the way, it's
I'm
worth
ugly as
noting, if you
hell.
have an integral suppressor in the gun itself, that doesn't add to the concealability, just in case you've written it down as just suppressor rather than integrated if you have one. But yeah, they basically, the guy takes the holdout pistol, puts it inside his jacket, into a pocket somewhere in there, and he motions you to the stairs downwards to the basement.
Down to the basement
Settle
I
down.
go.
Following down.
Okay, so you head downwards, and you find yourself in a room which has a couple of doors off to one side and off to the other side, and you can see quite easily there are some packed crates nearby and a few other things, and there's also a few dried blood stains on the ground here and there.
As we move down, how far are we going down? Like, how far away are we now?
You're probably about 3 meters underground. For your purposes, in terms of noise rating, you're now away from the laundry
that's what I was
machines.
wondering.
But you are now under a good few feet of concrete and steel, so that will be just a 1 noise rating. So not too bad.
Do I notice any icons down here, especially in the crate or behind
Yeah.
the crate?
In fact, one of the crates is labeled, and it says, as technology property thereof, highly dangerous explosive, handle with care. And inside it is a rocket launcher,
Right, okay.
which is currently on, but it's on standby. It's not, using most of its functions, but it is able to be called.
It's just
Yeah.
turned on, yeah.
Yeah. You can see that there are probably about 4
Is it the rocket
guards.
launcher that I saw earlier?
Yeah. It's exactly the same one. There are 4 guards down here, wearing a mishmash sort of assortment of suits and equipped with shotguns, assault rifles. One of them has a machine pistol. And they're all looking at you, but not, within intentions as far as you can tell at a glance, but they're very interested in you. They've obviously been waiting for you. One of them is an orc, one of them is a dwarf, the other 2 are human. And at the far end, on a pretty rickety wooden armchair that's maybe coming apart a little bit, you notice that there is a human with heavy cotton wool padding and bandages around each of his shoulders, and these magnificent, sparkling new chrome arms that are just like they are works of art in how much they are just pure bling, just so well sheened, and little intersecting plates that sort of make up the different joints and so on. And there is a person there who is tending to the wounds and so on that have sort of formed where the joints have been attached, and he's got a drip going into him somewhere, and he sees you come in.
Do I see all the icons of medical equipment? Like the drip? And
Yeah,
things like that?
you can now see, now you're underground. They're not particularly high rating because they're designed to be used in a local environment, so that's why you couldn't see them outside. But there is effectively a wireless rating 1 drip, and there's a couple other things attached, but nothing fancy. It's just these guys basically on fluids at the moment.
By the way, is
Enemy
anyone in the room
suppressants.
near the crate, especially the one with the bazooka? Well, I say bazooka, the rocket launcher in it.
Anyone near the crate, you say?
Yeah.
No, effectively
Roughly
they are.
stood nearby.
The crates are behind the stairs, effectively, as you come down,
Right.
and they are the other side where the room extends a little bit further on.
Okay. Everyone's going to get just a quick arrow pushed to their comm links, just the team, as Pseudo marks that crate. Firstly, rocket launcher. Second, if stuff gets bad, don't be stood near this.
Okay.
Also, then he appends next to the rocket launcher, armed.
It's not actually armed.
No, but that's what it will be if stuff starts going bad.
You can tell a quick interrogation because this is effectively story time and not every 30 seconds. It doesn't have a shell loaded. When in packing crates,
Never mind then.
a single shot rocket launcher doesn't tend to come with a shell loaded. Effectively, it's one of these RPG type things. You put the thing on the end and then
Right.
shoulder it.
I was thinking it was like a disposable sort of.
Yeah. I mean, it is effectively that. It's basically that, but
But it
cheaper.
hasn't been
But you
loaded,
have
yeah.
to put the shell on the end first.
No worries.
So yeah.
Discard the arm thing then, but yeah.
The guy at the end, noticing you, gets up very quickly, pulls the drip out of his back, at which the doctor goes,
Which you does he notice? Is he looking
you
at
all.
particularly?
Or
Oh, okay.
he just gestures to the group, pulls the drip out of his back, which was sort of going up behind his shoulder blade, and the doctor's like, and says something. None of you speak Russian, do you?
I don't think
No,
so. I
but
think
I've
I have
got-
Japanese.
Yanis
I've got translate.
sure. And the guy just walks forwards.
Pseudo pushes to Kaber's comlink. Now's that time for that spell that you didn't want to use before.
It only works if I'm talking direct to him.
Again,
right.
you're doing that.
Yes, I am showing my APM off.
Yeah. But yeah, the guy walks forwards and arms wide up and goes, my friends! And you notice that this guy you actually liberated from the van a few days ago.
It's coleslaw.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow. Okay.
How's it?
He is completely recognizable, is he?
Yeah, I mean, you did have some information on him. You picked up his file. You have a picture of him. Obviously, he's a little bit sort of got that sort of patterned bruising around, all around where his arm was effectively shot off. It's going down very quickly now. He seems to have maybe got some quite good medical attention from what you can just gather at a glance. That he's, even walking and talking 3 days later and having a double arm transplant. But he just walks forward and goes, I have seen what you did, and I'm very pleased that you managed to get me out of there, even with Lone Star's somewhat brutality. I have to thank you. And he walks over and he shakes your hand one by one, starting with Kaber. He goes through you all and then go, yeah?
It's good to see that you're up and about and you actually have the ability to shake my hand.
And he puts his actually, it's his left arm that was shot off during the actual raid, and he turns the arm around, and you can see that these little intersecting plates around the wrist sort of twist and provide basically like normal hands would have sort of a joint there that you could like easily get at and stuff, but this hand is both armored and covered to prevent it from grit and stuff getting in there, but also at the same time it offers some good ballistic protection. Well, I got the chance for an upgrade. And then he pulls his right hand up, and if at the time you would have noticed, you didn't actually get particularly close to check, you would notice that his arm was kind of didn't move. Like when they held him and they moved him around, his arm was just stationary. Okay. But he sort of shows you his right hand as well. They're both a matching set. And notice that it does say in very small engraved writing, Evo on the side. Because I basically wanted to thank you for pulling me out of that. It was very good of you at fairly short notice. I hear you got into quite a firefight and got me out, even considering the unfortunate circumstances of it.
Did you see the footage? The footage of you getting shot by Lone Star?
We have our contacts. I got a hold of some of the footage. And
I was going to tell him, I can't believe you made it, Coleslaw.
You look better than the last time we saw you, man. You're looking good right now.
He sort of winces slightly at Pug, but sort of shakes it off. He goes, luckily I have fairly good contact for medical services, and it was not something that was completely terrible at the end of the day. I've been looking after these arms for quite some time, wanting to have a chance to use them. Anyway, I want to firstly celebrate, but before that, I believe that thank you to you, I have been able to actually get hold of something that I've been looking for, and I think that you have actually something that has been vexing you for a while, and I hear on the street that you've been looking for a couple of people. I might be able to provide you with those. So, firstly, and he gestures you to come forwards, and a couple of his henchmen just walk in behind and bring in effectively this long sofa, which you see has got like metal stripping like added to the legs and so on, so that it probably might be able to support a troll's weight. Basically, this sort of four-leg sofa is now an eight-leg sofa.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's got 8 legs now. The central 4 are all made of like metal corrugated like down the center as well. Should be able to take your weight. Sit.
Okay, I oblige.
Yep. Pseudo.
Sitting sounds good.
That is, just sit down happily.
Shove Caber a little bit.
Throughout the discussion, my eyes have kind of been, whilst they've been moving around, I've been more or less aware of my surroundings. I've not been completely focusing, and I am still very intently trying to analyze and just quietly interrogate all the icons I can see. I'm basically looking for explosives right now.
Sure, in which case, you notice that there are a number of detonators in one of the rooms off of here. These detonators aren't activated. They have probably been attached to an explosive, but suspect that there probably is explosives somewhere nearby, considering there are a load of just tiny little detonators in a few boxes over there. You also do notice a couple of other interesting things. Firstly, you notice the RFID tag and broadcasting like emergency responder from a Lone Star personnel beacon. Unfortunately, this beacon has been shielded. You don't know how, but you suspect because it's only effectively a rating 1 device now, you would know that they're going to be more than a rating 1 device if it's a personnel beacon. It comes from the other room.
Right. Usually I would need to roll a matrix trace action to try and find out the physical location, but I just kind of know it's in the room adjoining this one.
It's effectively because the signal is petering out so quickly, you would just know that it's
right.
probably
I've got
nearby.
an idea that it has to be close by.
Yeah, and they also, you have so much time as a technomancer to be able to, over 3 seconds every time, do this trace thing that I won't make you really bother about it until we get into a situation where it matters. Just because you can buy hits and you would be like, I have it in 1 turn anyway. So yeah, it's in the other room. The room other than the explosives one. He goes, well, I was hoping that you could do a spot of work for me. I have need of people I can trust to be able to do a little bit of work and take care of some, as we say, business. Is that something that might be of interest to you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Da.
We're always on the lookout for work.
Excellent. Now, of course, I appreciate what you did for me before, but I cannot fully trust you just yet until you prove your loyalty and prove you are not maybe stooges or, feds or whatever. I'm sure you appreciate this in your line of work.
Yeah, of course.
And he pulls out a Ruger Super Warhawk. And he holds it up. And then he spins it in his hand, catches it barrel first, and holds it out to Kaber, since Kaber was the one who answered that. And goes, well, let me see if I can...
pushing a message to Kaber right now. I suspect you're about to be asked to execute someone.
He says, as that overlay pops in your vision, well, we have a saying, how about you scratch my back and I will scratch yours. And one of the doors opens on the side, this one leading to Lone Star Beacon. And
while this is happening, I'm going to message Pseudo and just ask if there's anything recording that he can see around here.
Now, bear in mind, you only now have one hand free, but you can try and type this out, although you are, sitting right in front of this guy. It's a little bit rude to do that if you want.
I've got nimble fingers.
It will still be
vocalize.
I mean, imagine trying to type on a keyboard with, one hand. That's effectively what you're doing now. If you want to try and do that, the other one's on the Ruger.
Yeah, I'm still going to give it a go. Yep. What do you want me to roll? I'll roll for it.
No, you're just doing it. That's fine. You don't need to roll to use your hands to type out a word, but it's just going to look a little bit. And brought in through that door is... Yeah?
Oh, I was going to say, as Kaber starts typing, and given the situation, I'm going to just sort of speak up in meat space and say, he's just trying to come off hot sim addiction. It's just his way of trying to deal with that. Don't worry about it. It's a bit weird, but
roll deception.
Okay. What is deception? Is there actually just flat out a skill called deception? I'm not.
Is it deception or con? I think it's con.
It's con.
Yeah. It'll be con, yeah. So, is that I roll the skill plus the attribute attached to it?
Yeah, it'd be charisma.
Yeah. I have to drop that manually. That'll be mental, or actually social.
And you have 4 dice for this. You get 1 successful hit.
I'll drop a point of edge on that actually as well.
Okay. Reroll failures.
I should have said that before you managed to roll, but
you get 2 to my 3.
Still.
The guy looks at you. he's not buying it, quite obviously, but he doesn't say anything. Anyway, in through the door is brought by two guys with their arms sort of looped under his shoulders. Someone in Lone Star uniform. This is a human. He's got blood like streaking down his face from his nose and mouth. One of his, like, actually both of his legs seem to be at really odd angles that sort of imply that either something in his lower leg is broken or possibly his kneecap. His uniform is tattered. In places it's soiled. It is covered in blood stains, and he's dumped on the floor about a meter and a half away. And he goes,
From this distance, has he got a comlink or anything of his around him except for that little beacon?
nope, he does not have a comlink.
It's just the beacon. Am I able? Is there any information I could interrogate from that beacon?
Sure. It would be encrypted. It would just be a beacon that's transmitting a location, but you could interrogate the beacon if you wanted.
Are we all going into the room, or is it just
Let me find that. You're just sitting down. The guy's been brought into the room next to you and, like, just unceremoniously dropped on the floor, which kind of makes an awkward squishing sound as his face hits the floor, implying that something there was already broken.
My character has a bias, so the audience knows against the police. And so my character is going to laugh and be like, oh, you caught yourself a couple of piggies, huh?
That, well, one very special piggy. You would need to do, basically you need to do a crack file. Like, it's quite easily, it's got this encrypted information in it, but I just want you to do effectively a crack file, or you could effectively sleaze your way in if you wanted.
Oh, bloody hell. Ever since I updated to Windows 10, my Adobe keeps crashing if I don't do anything with it for a while. So I keep losing my cheat sheet. Annoying. Right,
Hashtag blame Windows 10.
No, blame Kaber.
Blame Kaber.
Damn it.
100.
He's responsible for Windows 10.
Yeah, probably.
Yep. Okay. Right, that would be my hacking and logic.
I don't think patellas are supposed to be obtuse. It seems painful. I'm like, yeah. That doesn't bend that way.
Because you got one success. Or is that... No, that was the edge roll. This is it.
Yeah.
One
success anyway.
Okay, well, I will roll the protection on the file. No. And... You're in AR at the moment, so there's no downside to that except for your Overwatch score would start.
Yep.
Do you want to do anything about that?
1 point for that, isn't it?
Is it net? I think it's hits, not net hits. I think it's just net. It's hits, so that'd be 2.
2 points.
Yeah. Do you want to restart your persona?
Yeah, I may as well.
Yeah, like effectively.
There's like literally no reason not to.
For the intents and purposes of anyone watching, effectively, his internal device, which is his Technomancer ability, just reboots in his brain, and his Overwatch score disappears. So
for a moment, I attain Nirvana, and then I'm back in this shithole of a place.
Actually, for a moment for you, it's just really, really awkward because you feel really antsy when your device isn't on. So, but yeah, you just very momentarily a little bit, and then you're fine again. But yeah, so he gestures at the guy that just got brought in. He goes, you may recognize him. He has been a recent, somewhat of a celebrity amongst people who've been watching that footage of your run. And you will now recognize that...
Does he have an eye?
No. He has his eyes. Okay. You maybe now recognize that if you look in the right angle, this is the guy with the shotgun who took that guy's arm off.
Oh, right.
We get to tie up loose ends.
Clumsy motherfucker.
Loose ends.
Now, Gaber, if you wouldn't mind, you scratch my back.
Oh, of course not. So I'm going to take the Super Warhawk. I'm going to point it at the guy's head.
The guy looks up at you, stares into your eyes, spits blood, which doesn't quite make it to you, but hits the quite large target of the troll in between, and sort of hits his leg.
I'm just going to shake.
Fucking pig, man.
I'm I was going
Yeah,
to shake my
fluids
head
on
and
you.
just pop one off right in
You
his head.
Sure. Roll. But I will say, effectively, you get the bonuses of 3 turns worth of aiming, because you could do that. And I'd say it's like not even a cord shot to really shoot his head from this angle. So effectively, just roll just in case you glitch.
While he's doing that, I'm just
What do you want me to? How many do you want me to roll? I've got 11 normally.
Plus pistols. It's a heavy pistol, in case that makes a difference for your speciality.
No, that's fine.
Plus 3 for aim. And then just roll it.
That's 14.
Yeah.
Just roll it.
5 successes. Well done.
Bang. Like, just entry wound about yay big, and just the back of his head just explodes. The entire floor behind him is just this one big sort of slick red sheet with little chunks in it. He goes, Dad, thank you very much. And he holds his hand out for the gun.
I hand back the gun.
Dad. Well,
Is the beacon, was the beacon still pinging, or is that stopped now?
no,
he's dead?
it's still pinging.
Okay. Can we just say that I'm going to keep trying to get that success and rebooting every time I fail?
Sure. A few seconds later, you get the success, and it gives you, his name, his rank, how long he's been on the force, and it gives you badge number, which you all note down. His name is William Kelly, if you care. It also gives you a next of kin. It lists his sister, Laurie Kelly.
It is.
Got a sister.
There are points
I think I
There
know
are
your
points
brother from
beyond-
the other day.
beyond
Get a drink
which
sometime.
Oh,
there's a
God.
special place in hell for you. Okay, but a special
I'm really sorry.
place.
I heard about your brother. I seen you on the news. It's a terrible, terrible thing.
Anyway,
What's
the
the
guys
badge
who
number?
brought him in, the badge number.
Can I just write down badge number?
Just write
for-
down badge
yeah.
number. I could make up an alphanumeric sequence, but then I'd have to write it down as well.
Fine. It's fine.
And the 2 guys who brought him in just haul him away and chuck him unceremoniously through the door and goes, well, you've scratched my back. It would be only fair of me to scratch yours. And those 2 guys come back in with 2 individuals who are equally beaten up, bloodied nose. One of them has a leg like sticking out almost 90 degrees to their body. These 2 individuals, you guys will remember from the test session we did where they crossed you over and tried to kill you.
Oh yes.
Yes.
One of them has
I like
a broken
revenge.
jaw sort of twisted at 30 degrees, unable to really vocalize anything. And the guy in front of you picks up the pistol. You hand it back to him and goes, well, thank you very much. It's always good. And he just points it and just shoots, bang, bang, off to the side. Just one through each head. Quite easily. No problem.
Wow.
Not even really blinking an eye. This guy, just a casual motion, just kills the 2 guys. They fall limp. The guys who brought them in just carry them, take them through the door.
Fair enough.
I'm just gonna nudge Blowback and say I like this coleslaw guy.
He's got style. I'm feeling it too.
They didn't happen to have the money that they owed us on them, did they?
That unfortunately not. I believe that they will either spend that or they did it somewhere else. But
They
I
probably
hear
didn't
you
have it
looking
to
for
begin
them.
with.
They were the
Probably
right
didn't
people,
have it.
yes. I didn't just like kill 2 hobos
Oh,
because
yeah.
that'd be awkward.
Definitely.
Excellent.
While that's going on, Pseudo's going to be doing a matrix search for Officer William Kelly with that badge number, looking generally for any information regarding his
Sure. Make
family,
a...
specifically dependents.
Okay. Matrix search. -1 because of the noise.
Yeah.
So compute plus intuition limited by your data processing.
And I have a specialization with computers for matrix search, so that'll be 7.
It's gonna take a moment to wipe off the cop's spit and make sure to leave a little red stain on Caber's nice suit.
When I have a limit, but
Yeah.
it's based on a skill. Oh no, sorry, it's based on data processing, not on
Yeah.
computers. Sorry.
Yeah.
Never mind. Thank you though. 2 successes.
So basically, you can find information, but it takes a while, and then you can reduce that by a step by the number of hits you get. So I would say that this will take you a few minutes, and you will only find out when you leave the premises if you spend 1 hit. But the other hit will get you effectively a next of kin.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. fair enough.
So that'll take a little while, but it will come back to you. He goes, well, now that we've got that sorted, I would like to offer you a job. I have a missing decker. He owes me money, and unfortunately, we give him certain perks of the job when working for us, and now he has run off with some of our gear, and we would like it returned to us. Were you willing to do this bit of collection?
Sounds fine. What's the wage?
The wage will be, call it 1,000 each for taking the run and successfully finding where he is, and then if you manage to obtain our gear and come back and bring it all back, let's call that next to 2,000 each, so make it 3,000 per head.
You make it up to an even 15,000. Sounds good.
Any justification behind that, or what did you just say?
That's it. You make it up to an even 15,000, we'll be able to do it. I mean, we helped you out. We got you back alive. We even had to spend an awful lot of resources making sure you didn't die on us.
Well, you were paid for that, and for that I'm grateful, but I'm now offering you a consistent line of credit and a job working for a particularly growing business venture.
I'll tell you what, cost of love. Because it's you, we'll do it for the 12. Anyone else, and I'd be pushing.
I push a message to Pseudo's.
Good call.
Okay, I like you. I like you.
So Blowback pulls up his little thing and he's sending a little message across as well. Is that what you were doing? You just
I got sub-vocalized.
So sub-vocal.
Voice to text.
Right.
I can make a perception check for that, but it is like a threshold 3, I believe.
But
okay. He notices you, but doesn't care.
I push a message to Kaber saying, you've agreed to it now, but it would be useful for us to know what this gear is so that we can plan accordingly, because gear is incredibly vague. And don't start to typing on your VR like an idiot. Just ask the question.
Just read the sentence.
What type of gear are we looking at?
We offered him certain perks and gave him access to certain gear, and in return we required a certain amount of, let me say, digital expertise in our business. We like to employ local talent where we can. Unfortunately, we did offer him 2 particular items that we would like back. He has an implanted deck that we would particularly like to be returned to us. And he also has a pretty nice pair of cyber eyes that we would like back and returned in one piece.
My eyebrow noticeably arches at the implanted cyber deck being mentioned. That's literally the reaction, but it's definitely I'm paying attention to this, and I have a vague idea of how much that would cost.
I ask, where should we start searching for this kid? You got like a last known address or location?
Well, I can give you his last known address. Unfortunately, we looked there, and unfortunately, there was no one there apart from the maid. Unfortunately, things, she saw the faces. Things happened. You could look there. It is, I believe, a Lone Star crime scene at the moment, but that was a day or so ago.
Do you have any images of the decker that we're looking for?
That I do indeed. And he pushes an optical chip, like a good old-fashioned optical chip, across the table to you. That should be all the information you want. Although if you do need any more information, feel free to contact Mikhail! Pop up, yeah. Feel free to contact Mikhail if you would like any more details. And in through this side door, from the door, which has the detonators in it, if you want to know which, not the one that has the dead people, comes this elf in sort of this pretty nice suit. You can't tell his age because elf. He looks a bit more, well, his etiquette is certainly high from the way he walks and the way he presents himself a little bit, you can tell. He goes, yes, if you would like more information, I believe you can be in contact with me. And he pushes a comm code to all of you.
Okay. Alright. We're good to go? Is there anything else that you guys want to ask?
Are the police investigating the maid, or are the police investigating him as a missing person? Do you have any idea?
I have no idea on that front. I assume they are investigating the maid now.
Okay. Well, that should, on my end, I think I'm cleared up.
Yep.
Do you have a time frame you want this done by the way?
I prefer sooner rather than later. I do not know how far he will be in the window
I'm going to
when he
speak
will
up
get back.
in meat space and just ask, what do you want done with him?
I honestly do not care either way. I would like my stuff back. I would like it returned to me. Beyond that, it is up to you. If you would find it easier to remove the situation, then go ahead. If you would find it in your interest to leave him alive, I honestly could not care. I believe that either way it would offer a good enough demonstration of not to cross us.
At that, I nod and look to Gawain and just shrug my shoulders as if to say, I'm ready to go.
Let's get going then.
Okay. He gestures, and you, basically the guys behind you sort of nod, and the two guys who brought you in before step forwards.
As I'm walking out, I pause and just kind of turn back to him and say, one last thing.
Duh.
Do you happen to know where the deck was implanted?
Yes, I believe that is in the files. I believe it is just inside of his scapula on the left-hand side.
I nod and turn back to
call.
leave.
Okay. And as you walk out, you notice the doc coming forwards and fussing over him. He's like, da. Yeah, the name in the panel. You walk up the stairs, you notice him thumbing out the clip and feeding 3 more bullets back in. The guys take you upstairs quite silently. Take you to your van. He goes,
Okay.
I believe
Exit as
Leonid likes
directed.
you. He does not just take anyone downstairs and let them live.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad to still be alive. It seems like this is going to be a business partnership.
Yeah, hopefully a beginning of a beautiful friendship.
The best.
He pats the side of your van and just walks back inside.
Okay. So let's fire
Yeah,
it up.
quick.
Where do you gents want to go?
Gotta do a quick check to see if everything's actually still in here.
Sure.
Oh, my gun!
Your gun.
Sorry, but there you go. And he hands you your holdout.
Yeah, thanks.
Make an insight
Damn
check.
elf.
Make a what check, sorry?
Insight. So that would be charisma plus intuition. Judge intentions. Sorry, I call it insight because it's
Oh, thank you.
D&D, I think, is inside
yeah.
D&D.
But it's also judge intentions is just such a large mouthful compared. One.
Wow.
So many dice to get... Wow.
Yeah.
You're lucky we're not rolling with the house rule there. It's just flat out. If you get more than a certain number of ones, then it's a glitch. That was just ugly.
Yeah, but yeah, he gives his gun back. He's quite genuine, forthright, and he seems sorry that he accidentally almost
That
kicked
seems
it.
alright,
Yeah. But yeah, okay, you get back in the van and you can drive off.
Well, they seem nice. Where do you want to go to, gentlemen? Where do you want to plan this thing out?